It all comes down to this. The Montreal Canadiens find themselves exactly where this series always felt destined to go. Game 7, on the road in hostile territory. Tampa, a building that's seen champions rise and dreams collapse. It's funny in a way. Montreal is such a young team, but the anticipation from the fans and the adversity they've had to overcome has left a product of passion from the fans and team alike. For some, this may be only the prologue. For others, they might be writing their final chapters. What does this game have in store for us? Let's talk about it. All afternoon and all early evening, my stomach was doing backflips. I could not wait for this game to start so I could just kind of focus in. My wife works on the weekends, so I look after the kids, but my wife had to stay late at work and she only came back when the game had already started. My daughter is a 1-year-old and her bedtime is a very important time for her. So the game starts, I'm watching the game, my daughter is losing it because I'm not focusing completely on her. And eventually I get the smart idea to walk around in front of the TV and rock her. She falls asleep in my arms, which is not typical for her. And then I'm laying on the couch with her cradled, watching this intense game and just loving having my 1-year-old daughter cuddled up to me in that way, which she doesn't do that often. So that was a good vibe, and that was period number 1. Did it continue for the rest of the game? Well, we'll get to that. But first, I just want to thank you guys. What a ride. Huge game tonight, obviously. You felt like if they didn't win tonight and that was it for their season, wow, you got to wait a really long time to see them play again. I was seeing a lot of posts saying, it doesn't matter what happens tonight. I'm proud of Montreal. Well, for me, it kind of mattered what happens tonight. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Again, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for going on this journey with me. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, why not hit that subscribe button? We're how close are we to 24,000 subscribers? Dang, we're really close. We're like 300 subscribers away. Can you help me get there? If you're already subscribed, don't worry about it. Just hit the like button, comment below, hype the video using your mobile device. And let's get into recapping this game. On commence avec la formation de départ. There is a change tonight, and it was a very fun one. I really have to put some stink on attaquant tonight. La formation de départ, nos attaquants. Our forwards, we got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Gallagher, Newhook, Demidov, Bolduc, Doc, Texier, Evans, Deneau, Anderson. So a little bit of changes there. They rotated a lot. Like the lines did not stay the same. And I think Martin St. Louis even shortened the bench for the forwards. Yeah, 4 players got less than 12 minutes. No défenseur, our defensemen. We got Matheson, Carrier, Gouli, Hudson, and Struble and Dobson. Dobson is back. What percentage is he at? I don't know. But he played nearly 20 minutes tonight, 18 and some change. 2 block shots, 4 hits, and a takeaway. I mean, he's contributing and he's doing more than our buddy Arber Xhekaj. The sad part is Xhekaj's been playing amazingly for his level. And although he does get sheltered deployments, his goals against has been incredible. And I feel like maybe there might have been some regret by Martin St. Louis for not instead scratching Struble, who only played around 6 minutes. Anyway, it's all water under the fridge. No Galdien, our goalies, Dobes, of course, in net, Fowler on the bench. So they start things off with the anthem singers. Tampa's got an interesting anthem singer for the Canadian national anthem. She's a great singer, but she really enunciates the lyrics. Our home and definitely nice to see Dobson back on the bench. And then, of course, our stars of the show, Dobes and Vasilevsky, both have been just phenomenal in net. This was a real goalie matchup, it turns out. So the puck is down, game 7, first period action, and there's an excited tension to the play of the game. as Montreal ices the puck early for a defensive zone faceoff. A few minutes later, Tampa is making use of some confusion, gets the feed in front of the net to Point, who drives it in on Dobes, who has to make a smart save. Now we see Galley having words with Cernak. I'm not sure if this was super hostile. They both were smiling, but obviously there's a huge size mismatch here. So funny scene. You gotta love Galley. Now Matheson puts one, I thought, off the post here, but it might have just been Radish's fibia. Then Slav puts one off the elbow of the net and then takes another snapshot right on Vasilevsky. Feels like Montreal has a pretty good pace for their shots tonight. Well, if you bet your life on that, you'd be graveyard dead. Now the Dominic James line is on and they're doing work on the Doc line. Again, obviously, this was the line that scored the game winner the other night. But this matchup, Doc's line against James' line, was not a preferred matchup for the Habs. And maybe that's why Martin St. Louis shortened the bench for that line. Too bad, because they did have offensive sparks. Now Tampa on a 2-on-1. Dobes plays this excellently. Comes up with the stuff. Now Carrier is all alone in front. His shot is blocked, and then he sends another one just wide. Good opportunity for Carrier. Getting closer to the end of the period, it's going to be another one of those tight ones, but who is going to strike first?
Bay, but Montreal threatening here, scores on a deflection, and Montreal.
Captain Nick Suzuki finally makes his way to the score sheet for a goal. I felt like he was probably going to face some pretty harsh allegations if he didn't get a goal in the series, and he gets one in right at the buzzer. But extremely lucky tip, because this deflects off of Mosier in front of the net and goes in. A goal is a goal is a goal. It's 1-0 for Montreal. And as a Canadian fan, I hope you liked that last shot by Suzuki, because there's not going to be another one for nearly 30 minutes. And I am completely serious. So that's going to do it for the first period. Canadiens ahead by 1, but Lightning had their chances and Dobes looks solid. And now we come back for some second period action. Montreal, about 2 minutes in, feels like, yeah, maybe we should allow Bjorkstrand to practice his shot in the slot on Dobes. This was a pretty frustrating shift right here. And now Matheson is going to take an interference call. Pretty weak on this call. Officials have the prerogative to make this call, but yeah, they really get their fingers in the pie a couple of times this game. It's Rooney and McCauley officiating tonight, so, you know, judge that as you may. Dobes looking really strong tonight. Catches Radish's shot last second on the power play, and he is once again Montreal's best penalty killer. Still in the penalty kill, though, Newhook speeds up on Point. Who needs to hook Newhook? Hook Newhook. Newhook draws a lot of hooks, doesn't he? It's funny, I'm only really making that connection now. So Montreal gets to try their injured power play, and they have an absolutely dog water power play. Very ugly, but not even the worst one tonight. Now Mosier with a good chance on Dobes puts it just wide. It's at this point that you realize Montreal has not only not registered a shot since the Suzuki goal, Tampa's kind of piling it on Montreal. 10 shots already this period. They would end the second with, I think, 12 or 13. Now, the officials are still looking for ways how they can manipulate the game, like I said, and they see Goulet and Gensel collide, and Goulet is on his way down. He extends his arm, catches Gensel. So, yeah, I guess in 2026, the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's a big old holding call. So Montreal goes back to the penalty kill, but they don't survive it this time.
Play opportunity. Gonzalez, Gaston scores! Power play goal!
Dominic James, who has been great for Tampa Bay. Another one this series. I like this James character. He's exciting to watch. He's a speedster, but he's got skills too. And yeah, not afraid to shoot, obviously. But of course, they score on that weak call. I mean, the refs, you know, they probably want to make the best game out of it as they can. They probably have that directive. So when you're ahead by a goal, if you're ahead at all, they're going to look for reasons to penalize you. The good news is Montreal is pretty good after that. So there's like 4 minutes left of the period and Montreal still hasn't registered a shot. You're thinking to yourself, there's no way they're going to go an entire period in a Game 7 game with no shots. Well, they go on the power play, so you're thinking, yeah, for sure, they're definitely going to register a shot on this Power play, right? No, they don't. The period would end 1-1, Tampa piling on the shots. 12 shots. Montreal, big ol' 0. Went in with 4, leave with 4. They go on intermission. You got to imagine they head into that dressing room and Martin St. Louis just comes out and he's like, ugh. On to the third period. And as a Habs fan, you're definitely wondering, is this the last 20 minutes of hockey that I'm going to watch this season? Kind of felt that way after the abysmal second period. But this period has a different tone to it. It does feel more like a battle. Smart puck movement by the Montreal players, moving their feet a little bit better as well. But, Gonçalves with another big opportunity in front, right near the middle. Yikes, you guys got to shut this down. Now we see Hagel getting a shot on goal, and he's feeling, I think, a little frustrated here because he takes a swipe at Dobson's hand, but I think that's the wrong hand if you're looking to hurt him, because I think he injured his left hand, right? His left hand right. Now Hudson goes into the boards with James. James puts his elbow up and catches Hudson high. Fans don't like that very much because they start chanting "refs, you suck," which I thought was bizarre. You know, Tampa is fully in control of their burn, but it's a weird burn. Montreal is now pushing in. The Tampa fans are going wild. They're really, it's a weird tone in the barn tonight. It feels like they're cheering for Montreal here, but I think that they are cheering for the guys that are blocking shots and for Vasi for making saves. But the energy has lifted, and I think it led to this.
Hudson now, and that is blocked away. Who's back? Score!
2-1. After a little bit of momentum, Canadiens continue to push. The building is coming alive, and after some hard work in the offensive zone, Newhook throws it behind Vasilevsky, and it goes in off of Vasilevsky. Montreal now rolling, doubling up their shots. They don't have 4 shots anymore. They have 8. 4 more shots this period. They're incredible. Oh yeah, we have to grow Newhook's eyebrows. Still in the third period, Evans gets embarrassed at the defensive zone blue line, and Dobes needs to flash the leather to make a save up close. But hey, it's starting to wind down now. Both teams look like they're pretty tired. Montreal is struggling to find fresh legs though, and Tampa is pushing. Montreal ices the puck, but wait, it hits a broken stick. This is so ironic. This is the first time this season a broken stick has benefited Montreal. Time continues to tick down. There's a fight for possession along the boards, and the officials don't like that it's taking more than 5 seconds, so they get them back to the face-off dot. The net is empty for Tampa Bay. They're putting on pressure, but with about a minute left, this Tampa team does not look as tenacious as we've seen in the recent past. And Suzuki races in for an empty net icer, but can't do it. And then we see Slav try his hand at the empty net, but Hagel, great work stopping Slav here. I feel like I may have played street hockey against Hagel at one point in time. Where's he from again? We are in double digits now, less than a minute left in the game. We're in seconds. And as a final act of aggravation to Matheson haters, he throws one over the boards with like 5 seconds left. So it's going to be 6-on-4. Can Tampa win the faceoff and then make a hard drive towards the net? They win the faceoff, but the shot is blocked. It leaves the zone. Montreal wins Game 7. They go on to round 2, where they'll face the Buffalo Sabres. And this is, I have to commiserate for a second here with Tampa fans. This is a heartbreaker for Tampa fans. I will say that it's pretty easy to argue that Tampa was the better team for a majority of this game, but Montreal was a better team when it counted, I guess. And Dobes, you gotta hand it to him, right? He was a superstar for the Montreal Canadiens in this series. Went toe-to-toe with Andrei Vasilevsky, who is definitely a Hall of Fame goaltender. And he won it. They won it. Still a team effort, but man, for me, Dobes, he did it all. He was even outside his net playing the puck sometimes. An incredible end to an incredible series, although it didn't have the same intensity as previous games. I think you could tell already the guys are getting a little bit tired. A couple of days off will certainly help them. After the game, Dobes has an interview. He's really, he's so open in his interview. He's really great. And I really like this line that he shared.
Every game I play, it's like game 7, like my last one. That was my mentality going to this game, that I will prove people wrong.
So game 1 against Buffalo will be on Wednesday, the 6th. That's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern. They'll play on the 8th, 7 o'clock Eastern. The 10th, 7 o'clock Eastern. The 8th is a Friday. The 10th is a Sunday. Geez, really no Saturday games? I like the Saturday game. Yeah, I might do like a post-mortem of this series, but I'm so happy. I'm just happy and relieved. And it's going to be like a breath of fresh air facing a different team because, this was a frustrating style of hockey. It was good hockey, but it was, you were yelling at your screen, wishing that they were faster, pinching, they were winning their board battles. So it was high intensity. I think with Buffalo, it's going to be more movement based and it's going to be exciting. But Buffalo is on a rampage right now, and we've seen what Montreal looks like against Buffalo now that they've found their confidence. And they're tough. So we'll just have to see. That's going to do it for me, though. I got to head to bed. Thank you so much for everything. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for your support. Have a good week this week. I'll talk to you again soon, and you guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with, I don't know, something probably. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.
This moment reminds me so much of... We're not leaving! The show keeps going! Where to even begin? Dobes, heck of a job. Really big f***ing goal, man. Sunshine! I don't know, you think about the 4 wins, right? Takes 4. The first one, and Andy set the tone, right? And 3 power play goals, right? The second one, Lane, big goal in overtime, right? The third one, right? Kind of a back and forth, get a big one in the third, off a face-off play. You need everything in text. And tonight, to me, we came back and took advantage of the opportunity that was in front of there without feeling sorry about anything. It was still right there in front of us, and we dug, and here we go, boys. The show goes on.
Don't for a second think that wasn't earned. 7 games, the boys dug in. Look at Clark's right now. Captain gets us going. It will be unbelievable. The shift by Phil, Cole, and Andy flip this game. When you score the winning goal.
Excited to keep her rolling here.
You gotta take the sticker off.